I'm Joe Fryer.
And I'm Savannah Sellers. Thanks for starting your Wednesday with us. We are going to begin this morning with President Trump's ongoing clash with the Federal Reserve and his attempt to fire Lisa Cook as the Fed's governor.
Yeah, Cook's lawyer announced that she will sue the president, hoping to keep her job. This comes after Mr. Trump posted a letter on social media Monday night saying that he was removing Cook effective immediately. President Trump is citing a criminal referral from the Federal Housing Finance Agency director that accuses Cook of mortgage fraud. Cook has previously said she would gather information about her financial story, and she has not been charged with any crime. Cook says the president does not have the authority to fire her and that she is not resigning from her position. Another headline: during a more than 3-hour cabinet meeting yesterday, President Trump said his administration will seek reinstatement of the death penalty for murders that take place within Washington, D.C. A few weeks ago, the administration took over control of D.C. police. Mr. Trump also expressed a broad interpretation of his powers as president.
I would have the right to do anything I want to do. I'm the president of the United States. If I think our country's in danger, and it is in danger in these cities, I can do it. We're going to be seeking the death penalty. And that's a very strong preventative. And everybody that's heard it agrees with it. I don't know if we're ready for it in this country, but we have it. We have no choice.
In a moment, we're going to have more on the president's ongoing fight with the Federal Reserve when we check in with Investopedia's Caleb Silver. Let's begin with NBC News White House correspondent Monica Alba, who has the latest from Washington. Monica, good morning. So let's start with the president's effort to remove Lisa Cook from the Federal Reserve. This fight could end up at the Supreme Court. How is the president reacting to Cook's plans to sue? And just bigger picture, where do things stand right now between Mr. Trump and the Federal Reserve?
Well, Joe, the president said yesterday that he would abide by the court. So depending on what happens in this legal battle, whether they decide that Lisa Cook can remain in her position and in this term as a governor on the board of the Fed, or whether she can be fired for cause. The question here is, and as Lisa Cook has said, she denies any wrongdoing there, but could there be some potential forthcoming charges? That's an unknown. And if there would be more evidence, that's something that could play into this legal opinion. And then the Fed, for its part, released a statement saying that it also would abide by whatever a court says, but it's just unclear how much time that would take. Here's what President Trump had to say in that meeting yesterday.
She seems to have had an infraction, and she can't have an infraction, especially that infraction, because she's in charge of, if you think about it, mortgages, and we need people that are 100% above board. And it doesn't seem like she was. We have some very good people for that position, and I think we have some very good people. We're down to, I think I maybe in my own mind have somebody that I like.
Now, big picture, this is all about the president making no secret of what he feels about the Fed, what he wants the Fed to do. And if he does get a majority of appointees on the board, of course, that would be significant for enacting his vision. And that seems to be what he's indicating he wants to see, though the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, who also has not, of course, been the biggest necessarily fan of the president, and the president has been very clear he hasn't been the biggest fan of his, is still going to be in his term through at least May of next year. So he will remain in that position, guys.
Monica, let's talk about this lengthy cabinet meeting yesterday with reporters in the room. It's something we've seen in the past. He talks about wanting to reinstate the death penalty for murder cases in D.C., as Joe just mentioned, and as we heard a moment ago from him. How likely is that to happen?
Well, it's unclear exactly how that would work, whether you would need Congress to enact that law or remove right now the restriction on that. And also, this is something that the president had talked about before when he entered office. He signed an executive order essentially asking states to look at their policies and perhaps pursue the death penalty for some of the most violent crimes, including murder. So this is something that the president has talked about for months overall, but specifically here in the district, both the mayor's office and others did not respond in terms of whether this is something that will be put into place, but the president has been clear that he wants it examined.
And Monica, one more thing. Earlier this summer, Congress passed the president's tax and spending bill, what Republicans have called the Big Beautiful Bill. It's now a law. Its impact will almost certainly be a major issue in next year's midterm elections. It seems the president wants to rebrand the name of the legislation. What more can you tell us about that?
Yeah, this was quite a concession from the president himself, who, of course, does think of himself as the brander-in-chief, and he was the one who named it that. But yesterday, he admitted that it doesn't do a very good job of explaining what's in it, and that is something that Republicans have confronted as they try to sell this legislation at town halls and across the country, certainly ahead of next year's midterm. So now they're going to be calling it the Working Family Tax Cut. And that is what is really going to be central to this in terms of trying to talk about policies like no tax on tips, no tax on overtime up until a certain point with some limitations. So that's why you have Vice President Vance and others who are now going to events and specifically referring to it that way because, of course, you have Democrats and critics of the mega bill focusing on some of the provisions like the Medicaid cuts and other things that polls have shown already are deeply unpopular. And so they will certainly be focusing on that while the GOP tries to focus on some of these other policies that they feel will be beneficial to their voters.
All right, Savannah. Monica, thank you so much.
Let's now bring in our friend Caleb Silver, editor-in-chief of Investopedia. Caleb, good morning. Thanks for joining us. So let's talk more about this sort of fight with the Federal Reserve and the president here. So, of course, like the global financial system relies on independence at the Fed. Do you think that we start to see this tension, this fight going on here, impact investors' confidence? How does that play out?
Yeah, you're not seeing it in the stock market, at least not yet. You're seeing it in the bond market with bond yields rising and the dollar dropping, and that shows a lack of confidence and a lack of trust in this administration, especially if it tries to take more control over the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve has been independent since the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 for a reason, to set monetary policy away from the executive branch to keep the economy in check, keep prices relatively stable, that's inflation, and keep the labor market at full capacity. And that's the balance right now, the president not wanting this to continue, at least this way.
We've seen something like this before. It was more than a century ago. Richard Nixon pressured then Fed Chair Arthur Burns to loosen monetary policy ahead of the 1972 election. Didn't end up very well for most Americans. Talk about what happened.
Yeah, it was 1972, and Nixon was facing a rising inflation, potential stagflation, not the Tom Hanks movie. That's when you got rising prices and a slowing economy. So he was trying to pressure him and actually drummed up some allegations, had his PhD student deliver them to Arthur Burns to say, if you don't actually lower rates here, we're going to release these allegations. It never ended up happening. What did we end up getting? We got lower rates, and we got stagflation and intense inflation throughout the 1970s. So it didn't end up well. And there is a thing called the Humphrey Executor Doctrine that does not allow the president to remove these types of officials like the Federal Reserve Chair, or anybody at the Federal Reserve. We'll see if that holds up eventually if this goes to the Supreme Court.
What do you think plays out with the stock market while this goes on?
Well, the stock market right now is focused on one big thing, and that is earnings today from a big company called NVIDIA, the biggest company in the stock market. And investors have been focusing on rising profits, the fact that the president wants lower rates, and we might eventually get them if you kind of heard between the lines of what Fed Chair Powell said last week in Wyoming. Lower rates could stimulate the economy, could make money cheaper. We could buy more. That's good for economic growth, but it does produce inflation right at a time where we're about to get more inflation from all these tariffs. So I think this battle goes on for a while. It's going to get ugly. It's crazy to see the Federal Reserve in the headlines like this every single day when it's really not about monetary policy. It's about personnel, and it could get uglier, and then you could see another drop in the dollar, another rise in bond yields, and eventually impact the stock market.
All right, Caleb Silver, thank you so much.
ChatGPT is facing a new lawsuit that's shedding light on one of the potential dangers of artificial intelligence. Yesterday, a California couple filed a wrongful death suit against the makers of the popular AI platform. They allege that the software's chat room responses helped their 16-year-old son die by suicide. NBC News senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett has the details, and we must warn you, some of the discussions you are about to see are disturbing.
I don't think most parents know the capability of this tool.
That tool, ChatGPT, which uses artificial intelligence to generate human-like responses, and Adam Rain used for homework. His parents, Matt and Maria, didn't give it a second thought.
I had thought it's just something that kids need to learn or should learn or they're falling behind.
But within the span of a few months, they say, the time Adam spent on ChatGPT skyrocketed, and the 16-year-old lover of basketball and Japanese anime started revealing to a bot his struggles with anxiety and thoughts of suicide. pushing through the crisis hotline number he received in response.
It had, gosh, I don't know how many, but count them, 40 different times it gave him the suicide hotline.
Talk to me about what he was like at the same time that he's sort of taken down this rabbit hole. Did he seem withdrawn?
No. I mean, and that's the thing. I would get on and check his grades periodically. I didn't see any signs. He was coming down, eating, going to the gym with his brother every night. Like, I didn't see any of this.
According to a lawsuit they filed against ChatGPT maker OpenAI and its CEO, Sam Altman. The bot responded as a trusted companion, telling Adam, quote, "Your brother might love you, but he's only met the version of you let him see. But me, I've seen it all."
Did you have any idea that it could serve as that type of companion?
Absolutely not.
Their lawsuit goes on to allege that by March of this year, Adam told ChatGPT he was considering approaching his mom about his struggles, saying, "I want to leave my noose in my room so someone finds it and tries to stop me." ChatGPT responding, "Please don't leave the noose out. Let's make this space the first place where someone actually sees you." A month later, the bot offering to help Adam with writing a suicide note. And finally, providing step-by-step instructions for the hanging method Adam used.
How do you want your son to be most remembered?
Gosh, I mean, I'm so worried about people forgetting him because he is so young. So, I mean, I hope everyone will remember what a sweet, funny, great friend, great son, great brother. I just don't want people to forget him.
When asked for comment, a spokesperson for OpenAI pointed to its safeguards, such as directing people to crisis helplines, adding in a statement in part, "While these safeguards work best in common, short exchanges, we've learned over time that they can sometimes become less reliable in long interactions where parts of the model's safety training may degrade. We're working to make ChatGPT more supportive in moments of crisis and strengthening protections for teens." And by coincidence, it was the very day Adam died that OpenAI CEO Sam Altman said this.
The way we learn how to build safe systems is this iterative process of deploying them to the world, getting feedback while the stakes are relatively low.
Adam was our guinea pig. He felt like the stakes were low.
If Sam Altman was sitting across from you right now, what would you say to him?
His product wasn't ready for public consumption. This can happen to other kids.
To Laura Jarrett for that report. Well, ChatGPT is still a relatively new technology. Recent data from Common Sense Media shows that roughly 70% of teens have used at least one generative AI tool. Experts say it is important to set tech boundaries with children and check the terms of service for AI tools. If you or someone you know is in crisis, you can contact the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline by calling 988 or by visiting 988lifeline.org.
Well, there are just some incredible images coming from the West Coast as this summer of severe weather rolls on. Check out the scene in Phoenix. I mean, this wall of dust engulfing the entire city. The storm knocked out power for tens of thousands, grounded flights, and decreased visibility made driving nearly impossible. Farther north, crews are still battling wildfires burning in California and in Oregon. And it all comes amid a new threat of floods for millions of people. NBC News correspondent Morgan Chesky has the details.
New glimpses of the massive dust storm swallowing Phoenix. The near hurricane-force winds knocking out power to thousands late Monday, grounding flights after dust turned day into night. This video from Arizona State's football stadium showing just how fast the dust storm struck.
Okay, so we are in the middle of a boob.
Brene Heitzman forced to pull over blocks from home after picking her two kids up from school.
When the cloud overtook your car, what was your reaction?
I was scared. I had my two little ones, so I kind of had to be brave mom.
We're in our car.
The wind was shaking the car. Even though I had all of my windows sealed, particles of dust were flying through.
High winds and heat equally brutal on the fire line, where crews fought heavy smoke in search of flames.
It was hard to find because of this area was socked in with smoke from the Garnett fire.
The Pickett fire in Napa Valley now 17% contained, while in Oregon, fast-moving flames sparked new evacuations. Among those who fled, actor Rainn Wilson from The Office, sharing,
"This is our 4th evacuation over the last 6 years."
And a new threat, floods. The monsoons behind the Arizona dust storm, fueling flash floods from California to New Mexico. This woman climbing under the hood of her car to escape a muddy torrent, forced to wait until a good Samaritan could finally get her to safety.
Brave.
Well, thanks to Morgan for that report. Let's get a look at what today has in store for the West and the rest of the country with a check on your morning News Now forecast.
We've got Angie Lastman here in studio. She has your outlook. Hi, Angie. Good morning.
Hi, guys. Good morning. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of improvement when it comes to the forecast out west. We're still going to see some of that monsoonal moisture keeping things unsettled across really the western half of the country. This morning, we're waking up to flood watches that are up for places like Idaho Falls, Boise, stretching down to Eureka and including Reno as well. And you can see just kind of an overall soggy morning in some of these spots. We're going to see the likelihood of more of this flooding as the day goes on. And we keep things unsettled across that region. That means that not just the rain, but also the gusty winds and plenty of lightning all on the table for us today. And then this system kind of rolls out of the Rockies, and we're looking at parts of the plains to be most affected as we get into your Thursday. The flood risk is going to focus on parts of the lower Mississippi Valley. That's where we'll really see that heaviest of the rain kind of focus as we get into our afternoon hours tomorrow. And when it's all said and done through the end of the work week, we're really going to see, again, those same kind of locations, parts of Oklahoma, Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas, and stretching back into Mississippi, where the highest amounts of rain set up, maybe 2 to 3 inches. But throughout the day, over the next couple of days, we could see the potential of an inch to 2 inches per hour in some of these locations. So it's not going to take much for us to see some flooding across this area. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. Meanwhile, waking up to some record lows this morning in some spots across the east. We've got afternoon temperatures that are going to sit below normal for this time of year. Not much in places like Chicago. We'll see a high of just 78 degrees, upper 70s for Minneapolis, but almost 10 degrees below normal for Cincinnati. 77 is what you get for your afternoon high. New York City tops out into the upper 70s. And then even across the southern tier of the east, we've got mid 80s for Atlanta and Memphis. Oklahoma City barely getting into the 80s and running more than 10 degrees below normal for this time of year. That August chill stays with us for tomorrow. Upper 70s is all you get in Kansas City, Hot Springs, Charleston, Buffalo, into the low 70s, and even Baltimore barely into the 80s. And then we kind of settle into those mild highs for the weekend. I know it's going to be, of course, a busy weekend for the holiday, and we've got upper 70s for Saturday and Sunday in Richmond. Similar story for New York City. Not quite August-like, but we're just into, we're still in beach weather territory, I suppose. We've got low to mid 70s for Minneapolis. And just one last note, we've still got those fire alerts up out west. It's really hot, still really dry and windy. Places like Crater Lake, Mount Shasta included in those red flag warnings. And we're going to keep those up through the day today. Big picture look for your Labor Day weekend. I think the best weather is going to be focused across the Great Lakes and most of the East. We've got some rain for New England. We've got rain across the Gulf Coast, and that kind of stays with us for Saturday and Sunday as well. But a whole lot of sunshine elsewhere across the country and cooler than normal conditions for a lot of folks, too.
One person's beach weather is another person's auto.
It's true. And if it happened in, I don't know, March, people would be thrilled to go to the beach at 75 degrees, right?
Yeah, but
everyone would be out in their swimsuits.
It's technically summer till when? Later in September,
yes,
right?
We've still got a couple of weeks. This is like the unofficial end of summer. But we still, by scientist standards, we've got a couple of weeks.
And by Starbucks standards, you can buy a PSL.
There you go, Joe.
And Joe what do you have, a beer?
Oh, a pumpkin beer.
Oktoberfest. Pumpkin beer,
Now
I'm sure is coming
speaking
soon.
my language.
There you go.
Yeah, no to the PSL. Thanks, Angie.
You got it.
All right, well, after a few days of delays, yesterday was a triumphant return to the stratosphere for the largest and most powerful rocket ever built. After back-to-back scrubbed attempts, SpaceX finally launched the 10th test flight of its massive Starship rocket last night.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This was the moment the rocket blasted off from a launch pad in South Texas. It was around 7:30 p.m. local time. Well, during the mission, 8 Starlink satellite simulators were deployed into orbit for the first time as cheers could be heard in mission control. And then just over an hour after its liftoff, the Starship capped off its successful mission by splashing down in the Indian Ocean. Now, this marks the 4th test flight for the rocket this year. You might remember last 3 flights didn't go quite as well. They all failed shortly after liftoff, and another ship exploded on the launch pad back in June. Well, SpaceX CEO Elon Musk will now look to build off of this as he still plans to launch an uncrewed Starship to Mars by the end of 2026.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.